Okay, okay.
Ready?
Yes, ready. It's magic. It's a magic towel.
Yes.
Tremendous. Brilliant. A little bit of water and up it grows. Like a magic mushroom. Fantastic. Strauss, of course, I don't know if it's Richard Strauss or somebody other Strauss. I don't know how many Strausses there were. But he talked about the blue Danube. I don't know what kind of after effects I'd have to do to get this looking blue. It's actually looking very green. So I think I did buy the blue Danube once on a record when it was still 45s and 33s and it was made out of plastic. Mind you, they're still made out of plastic, just different plastic, different formats. So I suppose it's too late to get my money back. It's definitely green. Look at that green down there. Green Danube. Maybe it's chemical dye, who knows? Although Hungary's downstream rather than upstream, so it's not so likely. Very green. And the greenness of it, of course, is reflected in the colour choice of the painting of those new, rather spectacular flats there overlooking the Danube River. That's a nice way to live, isn't it? I should imagine that the people behind, though, were a little bit annoyed when the planning permission was allowed to build these ones in front, because it seems to have obstructed quite a lot of their view. We basically are now going to be shielded from quite a few of those. The ones at the top of the hill less so, but the ones in front probably not very happy with the Kempinski blocking their previously no doubt unimpeded view of the river. We'll still see the castle up there. BLG Logistics, there's presumably some freight using the Danube. It's got a radar there going full tilt and a German flag. Oh, look at that! Somebody. The Kempinski's heliport on the roof is being used to set down a passenger. Oh, they must have set down a passenger and then gone off somewhere else again. That's presumably the way that Slovakia treats its... there we go, there's the bird, as they say. So that's presumably how Slovakia treats its VIPs. I've never seen a helicopter go land on the roof of a hotel before in Europe, I have to admit. There we are. We were told that the Devian Hotel was the best in the city, but now I'm not so sure. There's seagulls flying down the river. Very pleasant boats. They've got some price list up there for various Cafola products, although nobody's come down really offering them. Maybe you have to go there to buy them. Nobody's actually drinking anything. And it's only supposed to be a 45-minute cruise, so there's there's a bit of wood floating down. A little reminder of the old days when bits of piano and everything were going down the Vltava, of course in the other direction there, because the Vltava flows up to join the Elbe and then up to the Baltic, whereas this obviously flows away from Central European massive down to eventually flows into the Black Sea. which is completely the different direction, so opposite direction of flow to the one that you see in Prague. But still, both those rivers managed to get into big swell at the same time in June of this year. It's now August the 25th, so it's not so long ago. Talking about just two months and two or 3 weeks ago that this big event took place, and there's not really all that much sign of it ever having happened. You can't see tons of debris above that line there, even though that was all underwater. The plants seem to have all got back to normal. The trees aren't showing up as much the worse for wear, although the small ones were underwater. You wouldn't really think that just 2.5 months ago all of that was under the Danube, but you certainly wouldn't want to be there while it was happening. But the natural world has a way of regenerating itself, replenishing itself very quickly after floods, of course. They are in fact a pretty natural phenomenon, but people make a big deal out of them and start talking about how it needs to involve us all in taxation, extra taxes and extra things we need to do, and carbon credit this and tariff that and regulate the other. Very pleasant looking willows there. Let's not neglect totally the other bank. Coming to the end of what there is of Bratislava, I suppose. So to see this bridge, I think they're talking about 5 bridges of Bratislava is what you get to see in this tour. So presumably it takes you as far as that bridge, which is the last bridge of Bratislava. I've driven down that one as well. That's when you just go down the motorway and you want to avoid Bratislava. You just want to get back up to Prague again from Vienna or Hungary without going to the centre. Then you go over that bridge there. Let's see some nice contours in the distance behind it as you go off towards Austria way. At this point you've got Slovakia, of course, on both sides of the river. Just a small sliver of land on that side of the Danube. Was the only Slavonic settlement, as far as West Slavonic was concerned, that was on that side of the Danube. Other than that, the Danube became almost a kind of Slavonic/Germanic barrier for several hundred years. And of course the Danube produces the border between Slovakia and Hungary until the Dunaj Hyol, or Danube Bend. Now we're seeing the same coming back this way. That's a pretty iconic view of Bratislava. You can see the UFO on the one side of the river and the castle on the other. That's it. This is Bratislava in a nutshell, really. Oh, maybe one time if I come here I'll be able to walk down to the old Kempinski along the walkway. Looks like a nice interesting walk. I never really saw that stuff before. Several nice boats out there, but one thing I have to say is that the river's completely underused. really not much happening in comparison with the things that could be going on here. It's a fairly nice day. It looks a little bit overcast, but I didn't feel as though I was risking getting rained on that much. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off for a moment, just so that I don't run out of battery for what might be more interesting. At the moment it's just a repetition of what there was a moment ago. There doesn't seem to be any commentary, which may be quite a good thing, but then I can just record my impressions for you unimpeded, and also there's no potential of somebody saying, "Hey, you recorded my commentary and put it on YouTube. You owe me some money now for that." Yeah, it's another nice iconic view. Those two buildings in shot at the same time. Another one coming out on that side. So there are a few people using it, but really much less than you might think. There's plenty of space on the river. It's not like you're going to be knocking into things that much. Even small rowing boats could be out here, but they're not. The hotel I'm in is the Devin. You can see it in mid-shot there, with the Slovak National Opera or theatre, not sure which, over to the right of it. So that was 2 bridges of the 5, I see. This is where we kicked off from, effectively. From the from that particular jetty, that's where we started. Jetty number 1. The port itself, the Osobny Przystaw. This building here is your Slovak National Museum, or Slovenské národné muzeum, and just next to it, that small blue building next to the river there, that's your Osobný Přístav Bratislava, so Bratislava personal port, as in sort of like passenger traffic port. I think you just saw between the buildings there the TV tower. Russia Prestige. I don't know what that's. It's obviously in Cyrillics, but whether it's Bulgarian, yes, it's Bulgarian. There's a Bulgarian flag at the back there. So maybe that's a black ship. A black ship. The black ship. It's a black ship, Captain. Presumably driftwood from the. Oh, driftwood from the flood. Yeah, it's not that high. Yeah, it must be. It must have got stuck up there. Didn't notice that. Well, that just pretty much shows how high up it got, doesn't it? Yeah, well, unless somebody was just being stupid and put it there to show. I don't know. It's always possible, but why would they? These are very nice office developments, and that's retail, isn't it? That's a retail thing. Eurovia, right over the river. Also very nice. When they told us we had a new office, I thought that we were going to end up in one of those, but unfortunately it's a bit further back from the river than this. Nice black lion there. Is that Richard the Lionheart? In front of there, stopping off here on his way to the Crusades or something? Looks a bit like him. An interesting salt shaker tower there on that building, even though it's a modern building. Gives it a kind of historic look. A little bit phallic, I suppose, that's what people would say. Freudian. And another bridge. I suppose the railway bridge could class as the fourth, as the third bridge, and this then would be the fourth. There's a cormorant, ladies and gentlemen. I like cormorants. Sztatna plavebna sprava. So the state sailing administration. Here we come to the port. I'm not really focusing much on the other side because hopefully I'll have enough battery to get that when we come back, because then I'll be facing that side obviously, but if not, I can tell you that it's not so interesting, just in case you're wondering, and I don't end up with enough battery to show on the back. It's not so interesting. It's very nice green, but and lots of green trees, but there's not so much actually happening there other than just that. So it's much better to focus on what there is. HB Revis. Over there they're doing a lot in Bratislava. HB Revis, developer. See their flagship building for Bratislava over there. Oh, some tears in the boat. And here I have the last bit of battery power actually showing up, so probably won't be able to show you everything, but I think we've got the main bits, to be honest with you. So they're as good as they were. They took us to 5 bridges, that was the 5th. They just basically, it's on 2 levels by the looks of things. The top one is another motorway. There is a little canoeist down there. As you can see now, we've got the other side, it's coming back. There's that nice bridge with the kind of almost like rainbow over there. and as you can see, it's all green really on that side. You don't even have anything to walk next to the river, so if you want to walk by the river, I suppose the way to do it's that side, although it gets a little bit scrappy there by the dockyard. Can only suggest that the nice place to walk is down towards the other end by the Kempinski if you're looking for a nice walk by the river or a run out by the river in Bratislava. That's the way to do it. As you go back from the Danube, you get into some gradient, which is it's not terrifically steep anywhere, but so that side of the river, that sliver that belongs to Slovakia, when the rest is all Hungary and Austria on that side of the Danube, until you get down to the southern Slavs, then it's Slavic again. That's called Petržalka. There's another nice cormorant there. Do like them. A nice yellow bus going over the this interesting looking bridge. UFO in the distance. Štatná plavebná sprava. Sprava, I should say, not sprava. Sprava. Ústřední správa, Hauptverwaltung. Plavebná, to do with Schifffahrt. So we would say in German, Staatsschifffahrtsverwaltung. And another look at the green grass of Danube to finish. Because this really is the finish, because the battery won't really take anything more. Okay.
Ready?
Yes, ready. It's magic, it's a magic towel.
Yes.
Tremendous, brilliant. A little bit of water and up it grows. Like a magic mushroom. Fantastic.